What's good, superstars? Back with another VV video. You got Superstar Joe. You got Superstar Rob in the building. How's it going, Rob?
Pretty good, you?
The force. That's a cheat code, guys. You got to go get yourself a Yoda mug if you want to win in any single fight. But guys, if you're new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. You never know when we're going to post, what we're going to talk about. Today, I think we're going to give you some stats that might blow your mind. So excited to have you here. Can't wait to see who's winning the first battle. That's what that bell notification's for. We love seeing who gets the first, and it's been changing up lately. It's been seeing some new names hitting that first comment. So I think we got to do something for that, Rob. Coming up soon. I think we got a bunch of comics or some other stuff that we can give away. So that is something we got to talk about leading up to DCon here. You can also become a Superstar VIP, get a badge next to your name, get access to our spreadsheets. You're going to see another spreadsheet that we like to use, comparing stuff. Also, first dibs on merch, name a star in the universe after you, and all kinds of stuff. Yesterday, we did an advertisement. You saw that. So all different types of utility that we're trying to bring to the membership. Thank you guys who continue to support us. Thank you very much. It is we got Octavian over here who also just joined us. So thank you very much for your support. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. On Twitter, you will find our VV profile. In the description, you will find our Discord, which is absolutely the next best. Like, I thought I was in love with Twitter. Discord is changing my life, I think. I love talking to you guys over there. And we also have a PO box if you want to send us something cool and join the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think we know that Discord. We should set up like a call one day on Discord, like a voice chat room, and talk to the fam there.
Yeah, so we also have some time left on this. I should show you guys again, but if you haven't already, you have an opportunity right now to kind of get some value for an NFT purchase. It's kind of the reverse. You go to McFarlanetoys.digital, you link your wallet to your email, then you go to McFarlanetoystore.com, and if you buy $100 worth of toys, so instead of just spending $100 on an NFT, you're going to be able to spend $100 on physical toys that you can bring home with you, and then you get McFarlane Digital's first ever NFT drop. And McFarlane is a huge toy brand. Like, go browse their collection. They've got a bunch of different IP over there. They got Disney. They've got all kinds, like DC, Spawn, obviously, is McFarlane stuff. So a bunch of cool stuff, and it's all super detailed. One of the best toy manufacturers in the world. And if you use our code there, we get a little bit of a kickback. If you don't want to use our code, but you still want to get a little bit of a promo, you can take out the superstar part on either code, and same rules apply, same everything. But if you want to support us, you can use our code.
I want to use this opportunity, leave that up. I want to use this opportunity just to clarify. We had some comments below that they don't like seeing that some VV YouTubers now have these affiliate codes. I just want to make something very clear. We, out of our own interest, started tracking the McFarlane project because we see the potential. And Trevor completely surprised us on Friday with this affiliate code. So we were already pursuing this long before this affiliate code existed. So it's not like we got sponsored and then started following McFarlane. We started following McFarlane, and in a way to, I guess, to reward us for our interest, they then followed up by giving us this code. So whether we have the code or not, we're gonna track McFarlane. We want to see where that project goes. We appreciate them giving us this. Of course, you want to support us, you can use this to get your 5% discount. Guys,
they're doing stuff like this. It shows that they're trying some new stuff in the space, and it's only going to create some pressure for some other companies out there, right?
Yeah, that's how it goes, right? It's competition. The competition is getting heated. It's getting heated right now in that space.
So let's get into the Twitter news. We've got a new comic coming Tuesday. It is A New Era Black Panther, written by MacArthur Genius and Ta-Nehisi. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah.
Black Panther 2016 #1. So we've already had a Black Panther #1.
Yeah.
Now we're getting 2016. I don't know anything about this. I can't wait to hear from the comic book consultants, but it looks like we got another Scotty Young cover in here.
Yeah, I mean, you know who you are. We got Ian Barnes. We got El Champ. Let us know below a little bit about this comic. I feel because it's more modern, it's not going to be like the modern ones. Like, no one really cares about. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a D range, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. Let us.
It looks like it might be 20,000 again, because it doesn't say super limited on it, which usually gives away the 10K, right?
Yeah, I mean, with these kind of mints, under $1 comics will be here before you know it. I mean, finally, we haven't done it yet, but we should start talking soon about collectibles being under $1. I mean, we're not there yet, but we'll save that for another video idea. But for now, $1 comics. I've been saying this for ages, and every time someone snipes one under $1, they always send me a screenshot like, "Yo, check it out! Yo, check it out under $1." I'm telling you, it's going to be the norm soon. It's going to be the norm.
I think that Vive's been tracking that, and they're like, oh, it's almost that $1. Let us release OUP, get some hype going. Let us do this. They don't want to see you get your dream.
Yeah, they started fighting it. When they all go under $1, I'm going to start buying them all. I'm going to start buying them all.
Exactly. That would be the perfect time to buy.
Yeah.
Also, you guys say that we're fudders. You say that we are speaking negatively. We had a rant. We had a rant a couple days ago talking about the way that Veve does their snapshots and how we think it's ridiculous, how we think that the communication needs to be upped and things need to be a little bit more clear. And what do you know? A couple of days later, you got a tweet from Veve official. Reminder, Hocus Pocus and Chucky snapshots begin tomorrow at 8 a.m. Please continue holding your qualifying collectibles until we confirm the process is complete. Thank you. Guys, that's why we do the videos that we do. We put out this type of content because we want you guys to benefit from changes that will help the app and help this stuff grow. This is an example. Now, instead of selling right at 8 o'clock, a lot of you are going to hold. And why is that? Because we had a video talking about airdrops.
You know what? It's absolutely unbelievable what I witnessed when we put out this video. Beautiful title. Veve drops the ball and not the airdrop. We are of the opinion that a snapshot means a time and day. And if you own a collectible at that time and day, whatever the criteria is that they make, then it needs to be honored. Now, what we found out after the fact was that the way their system is built, they have a lot of trouble running that query. So they cannot get a snapshot. They need like a time frame of 2 or 3 hours, or they didn't say 2 to 3 hours. I'm just speculating 2 to 3 hours in order to actually aggregate all the people who have it at that time when they run the query. So, you know, we had a huge discussion about it. I couldn't believe how many people in the comments and on Twitter actually defended Veve for and blaming you for selling. They're saying they're happy, but you're playing within the rules. You didn't make the rules. The rules were made by Veve. They said a snapshot is at this time. We brought it up on Google, the meaning of a snapshot, and in the space, that's what it means. And now their messaging changed. Alex, I heard him go on my collectibles stream afterwards when he announced the Star Wars. I heard him talk about this specific issue, and I had a feeling he watched our video. He was speaking in a way of a lot of things that we touched upon, and I was very happy that I heard that because I knew that he was going to listen. Okay, he was going to listen and change. And if we didn't complain, I really believe it would be status quo, because the one before that happened, people said they never got their dyno. We weren't affected by it. We didn't realize at the time. Now, you specifically were affected by it. We realized what happened. We made a big stink about it. And now there was change for the better. This is the reason why we complain. We do not criticize just for the sake of it. We criticize for hope of a change. And now for the rest of Veve's lifespan, eternity, they will always be clear when they talk about airdrops. So I'm very happy change came from that.
I feel like a martyr. I feel like I lost my 007 airdrop, but I changed the world. So I'll take it.
I think so. Good job.
All right. So let's get into the rest of it. This is our Twitter. Nothing crazy, but shout out to this guy, Benjamin G6 on Veve is absolutely crushing. He's been doing these charity auctions on Veve. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but this is the 10th one that he's done. Mm-hmm. And I think this one might have been won by Veve Magic, actually.
Okay.
But he donates the money to Feeding America, like amazing cause and great way to introduce people to the app, I guess, or just get people like, it just adds that other layer and it shows that there's good people around here who are trying to help everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good. I like that. I've seen a few charity run like Veve branded kind of things. I always like seeing them on Twitter. Very, very cool way of encouraging the community to get involved with something outside that actually helps and benefits either a charity program or whatever else that person finds of interest in them.
Yeah, no, I mean, let me know if you guys know of any more charity things. It'd be cool to see. So here was my response. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it was just a little smirk face because I know where that came from. And good on you guys at Veve for clarifying, making it clear, and hopefully we don't have those issues moving forward.
I mean, if you listen to the Moon Boys, there would have been no change. They wouldn't even said that. They would have said snapshot, and a bunch of people would have lost their stuff still. So
I think they should have just changed this to a Polaroid camera, though. You know, the long exposure. Somebody told me that I was dying. It's a long exposure snapshot.
Yeah. That would be funny. Yeah.
Really, really cool that they addressed it. Speaking of Veve Magic, looks like she's kind of Veveing it forward she ended up doing that donation, and also now they're doing a giveaway with Silicon Secure and Chad from NFT Pirates. So it looks like they're giving away a physical Darth Maul here. Really cool. Couple things to do. Just tweeted it because it's a pretty dope giveaway.
Yeah, I mean, she always runs some good giveaways, so let's see what happens with that.
Yep. And that's it for our Twitter. So I guess we're basically into the topic, Rob. We have seen in the recent past a lot more competition, it seems. Maybe not crazy competition. Each individual company maybe hasn't put up a huge fight yet, but we have seen the beginnings of what could be some pretty strong competition. We've seen it with the Bat Cowl project. And now we might see it with McFarlane. We're not 100% sure what they're going to come out with. We can't really comment on that until we see what we get on December 1st there. But that interview we had with Trevor was very promising. So, Rob, what does this mean for Veve? And then I guess we'll go into a bunch of numbers and we'll talk about maybe why we shouldn't be so expectant of everything going back to all-time highs.
Yeah, that's our hope. Our hope is that we're going to be able to return back to the all-time highs. And we actually went back on ecomi wiki. We looked at, I think it was partner statue. I don't have it pulled up anymore. And we found that around January 31st was the peak of prices on Veve. And one thing that's getting us thinking is because now you have, like, McFarlane's an example, but you're going to have bigger budget companies now trying to compete in this space. And I still think Veve is king, but I just don't know how long they can hold it for. I don't know if their progress is at a pace that's going to keep them ahead of the curve. I'm starting to question it a little bit. They still have the advantage big time compared to these other guys. But I'm a little bit concerned. You know, the OUP article, I was expecting a lot more. I know I couldn't make the video yesterday. I was expecting a lot more progress on when OUP. It sounds like there's a more well-defined roadmap than that we had previously. You know, it's getting a little bit more organized, but I actually thought that article was going to be the beginning of OUP like a week later. I thought it was here, and now I'm questioning how close we are to that, and I'm questioning the resources on Veve's side in order to make these things happen and progress, because as they progress, they want to progress this app to a point where they can handle the new onboarding of users. So in today's video, we want to try to figure out how many new users will they need in order to get us back to all-time highs with today's numbers? And then we can speculate from there. So if you look at Veve right now, you go on a Mutascan, there's 7.46 million mints right now, tokens right now on Veve. Okay. So we took some math down. We reached out to our boy, Omi Daily Burn, you know, good friend of ours, guys. Check out his YouTube channel. You got to check it out. He is crunching data all the time. Amazing insights. Just recently ran a very successful live. So if you haven't subscribed to him yet, you should subscribe to him. So we just sent the text over. How many mints were in the app? How many tokens were in the app on January 31st? Within minutes, he responds.
This is wild.
3.8 million, right?
Yeah.
3.8 million mints on January 31st. So shout out another good friend of ours, Puddin' Cheeks, who has this beautiful spreadsheet that has gems in app. Now, keep in mind that since Cash Out came at the beginning of August, gems in app does not account for gems coming out of the app. So it's just a running number at this point. It just counts burns. However, we have a pretty good idea that on January 31st, this is an accurate number because Cash Out didn't exist. You had 107 million free cash flow gems, as I will call it, available to be spent in the market. Okay.
So we don't know how they got purchased, if they were purchased half price or whatever, how they got into the app, doesn't matter. We just want to know how much. We use this basically to determine the average price per token. So Rob's got that first line there. I'll let you continue.
Well, you got it. So we took the 107 million. We have the 3.8 million gems. So on average, you had $27 per mint. And obviously, you know, some of them were maybe $5 and some of them were $100,000, right? Secret Rare Spider-Man and all that. But on average, you had $27 or gems per token. So we just wanted to do an analysis. We're now at November 6th, okay? And we want to do analysis with the 7.46 million mints. A lot of new mints have come into the ecosystem since then. And now 140 million, if you go to Puddin' Cheeks' spreadsheet, that is the amount of gems in app right now. But we know this is extremely conservative. It does not account for at all cash out money. We don't know how much money's been pulled out. We have no clue. So we're going to just use 140 million just to see where we're at. And we're down to $18 per mint. So Of course, prices can't hold because it's being spread out now on more tokens. So when you take these two ratios, you can come here and say, okay, well, how many gems in app will be needed right now to go back to all-time highs? And what we find is that you just do some quick math. It's 208 million gems in app right now. So knowing
to get the same gem per token. So you use the 27 and you multiply that by the 7.46 million, and that's how we got the 208.
There you go. So 208 million, that's what you need. And we know 140 million isn't accurate. We know that it's probably closer to like 100 million if we had to estimate, but we don't know for sure. So let's just assume for argument's sake, they need it. Well, I mean, we use 208 for now, so being conservative. And we assume, let's say 1,000 people or sorry, well, how many people need to come with $1,000 each, right?
Yeah, the thing is the 208 is going to be pretty accurate because the January 31st number is accurate because we didn't have cash out, right? So you're using the average from January, multiplying that by current tokens, and trying to figure out how many tokens you would, or how much gems you would need to get back to the average of 27.93. So that number, that 208, that's accurate. The 140, that's not accurate. If you change that to 100, for example, Rob, it'll show you guys that gems per token, what it might be is actually like 13. So we might be at, if we're at 100 with all cash out, you're half. So you need to double how much money is in this app, pretty much.
Well, you need an extra 100 million. You need an extra $100 million. I mean, that's what we were saying. Like, even if let's say the average person enters the app and spends $1,000 in the app, you still need 100,000 people. And the truth is, you probably need more. Like, I think someone ran the numbers once, and it was actually closer to $500 on average per person, which puts you to 208, close to 200,000 new people. If we jump over, shout out Veve Fox, Rootless Girl, who runs this nice tracker. Take a look at the daily active wallets, like 3,500 daily active wallets, up to 12,000 on drop day. 12,000 on drop day. We still need another 100,000, 200,000 new wallets in order to get the gems up to that point. If you look at new active wallets coming in, 22. How do we go from 22 to 200,000? Or
how many days is that? 22 per day.
But even on drop day, look, on Star Wars, you had 306 new wallets. Like, let's say you divide even 100,000, that ends up being so if you take 100,000, you divide that by 306, you're at 326 days of that sustained rate, which we know isn't the case. You know what I mean? Like, anything is no drop. You're way lower.
We need to like 800x to get back to all-time highs. That's what you got to look at.
But here's the problem. We know it's not happening today. Like, these are today's numbers. Every day that goes by, every drop that happens, as more and more mints enter the ecosystem, the amount that it gets that much harder in order to achieve the balance of those all-time highs.
So I think what Rob is saying here is, maybe if you guys are holding on to something, saying, okay, I'm going to wait for it to go back to all-time highs, we're just trying to give you what it's actually going to take to get there. Like, we do know that in January, the ratio of number of collectibles to the money in the app maybe wasn't sustainable because everything that was going on. Now we're trying to analyze what we actually need to get back to those numbers. And when you look at it, Rob just gave a good example about how more mints are going to be coming through as you're starting to accumulate these new wallets. You're going to need even more wallets. But on top of that, in January, there was no competition. Now we're starting to see Palm take market share. We're going to start to see McFarlane take market share if they do what we're hoping that they do. And then you're going to see ones that aren't even existing yet, that are going to come out and start taking market share as Veve's trying to accumulate these $200,000 or whatever they need to, $200 million to come back in the app, right? So that's something you guys have to pay attention to as well. And then maybe these things that you're holding on to that you paid $4K for a goofy, maybe it's time to take a reality check and say, you know what? That might not happen in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, we don't know how long it's going to take. And we also don't know if the next bull run is going to have enough steam in it and enough growth, because you also need a lot of money coming at the same time. And there's something that hasn't been discussed yet. We don't really know how much of that pump was generated from potentially stolen gems, right? Yeah. We knew about a gem scandal that actually shut down the Veve market. I think it was back in March, where people were finding ways to exploit gems. We don't know. Like, I would think that the person who exploited the gems and went all out on it was probably doing it for a while and knew they were about to get caught and just went all out. Like we don't know how much between November and now was exploited. So there was a lot. It is so dynamic in terms of the nature that if your goal is to hold until all-time highs and you think that you're going to meet it very soon or within a year, we just think that the reality is it could take a very, very long time before you have the organic growth of the space, which I just did an interview right now with Metaverse Life, right? And he was saying he doesn't think that the metaverse economy is going to even start until for another 3, 4, 5 years. So maybe once you have that economy in the metaverse, and if, because we don't know for sure, it's all speculation, Veve Collectibles, you know, there's some of them are based on Unity, and not all of them are based on Unity. I've learned from Metaverse Life, but some of them are. If these collectibles go into that environment, if maybe they get some rentability to them and they start getting value that way, maybe we start seeing, you know, people profiting from these in a different way, a new revenue stream, and you might have people rushing back to the app in drones. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So if we're going to line it up with the metaverse, it could be a 5-year wait, like you mentioned. I don't know. No one has a crystal ball. We don't know for sure, but this is just a reality check of how much money needs to come to Veve in order to get back to those all-time highs.
And exactly. And this is something that, I mean, we've had to rethink all of our strategies, including us. We've had to rethink our strategies. We put the numbers down. We're like, you know what, like to go back there, a lot has to happen. There's a lot of new people or companies vying for that same money that was only going into Veve because they were the only one in town, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that have to happen. So I feel like you kind of got to take a step back, look at where you are once they shut down all these half-price gems. Once they did that, maybe that's your starting point. Look around that time and then try to say, okay, maybe those highs are something that are more achievable because it's not January or whatever. It was a little bit later on, and things started to grow organically then, right? So I know that there's been all this macro stuff in the economy that's been affecting things as well. But even if we do turn around, guys, you have to understand here that this is a huge undertaking to get that much money into the app. I mean, maybe it'll take some businesses at that point to do it. I don't know. But I think utility could be something that helps to speed it up a little bit if they can figure that out. But the reality check here is if you are expecting your Goofy to go back up to 4,000, that's just my example for the video. I think you got a long time to wait.
Yeah, and it's one thing to like you need 100 million extra. Like if people come in and they're buying things, that's great, but it's spent, it's done, it's over, it's sold. You need like extra money. Like that Gems and app is like free cash flow. Like that's like the money in people's wallets just waiting to be spent. So even if people bring in new money and spend it right away, that doesn't help. You need the pool of money to grow, the demand to grow, the pool people wait, like they bought everything they want, they have extra money on the side, they're waiting. Like I think are really far from that. What are we missing? Let us know if you don't agree with us. Look at the numbers that we've presented, and what do you think? You might be just of the opinion that it's easy for Veve to bring in $100 million. They can do that, no problem, right? But again, like we're also thinking, well, how long will that take? Like, let's say the next hype cycle doesn't happen for another year. How many more million mints are we going to have? We went from 3.8 to 7.4. More than, what is that? That's almost double, right? Almost double the mints. And that took not even a year. So in another year's time, when maybe someone could speculate there's a hype cycle, are we going to have 14 million mints now? Or we're going to have maybe just the same magnitude, another, let's say 4 million on top. That'll put us at 11 million mints. And then what other new NFT projects are going to come out that might start eating away some money from the Veve base over there? So these are things that we're talking about. We're speculating because we just want to get that brainstorm out there. Let us know in the comments below your thoughts on this.
Will Disney stick around? Is Disney going to go share their IP? There's lots of questions that you don't have the answers to. I don't have the answers to. Just makes me think even further along. Like, sure, things are going to do well in this app. I think things will be great. You can buy things on drop and make a nice return, especially when we see things like Miles doing so well and all these other things. But to have that faith and expectation of things that you bought a long time ago, getting back to where they were, I just think it's something you gotta consider all these facts.
And by the way, I wanna give a kudos to the last spaces with the queen. The queen's
Lori.
court?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lori Brenner. She asked a tough question, which I'm happy. She said to him straight up, I think everyone knows that one day Disney will share their IP. I don't think they're going to be exclusive to Vive forever. But she said we've seen with Quid that Marvel just pulled it. They just pulled it. And I think he gave a good answer to that. He said, you know what? I think we can agree that
This is
Quid's maybe
Alcon, right?
Alcon. He's like, you know what? Quid maybe did not meet the revenue expectations and quality that Disney expected. I think Vive's definitely met that. So he thinks it's very unlikely that they would ever come back to Vive and say, no, like you're completely done, even though they might share it, which is good news. And those are the kind of questions that we need to ask. They're the questions I think really matter for the long-term success of all the collectibles that we've purchased being worth something one day in the future. That's why you always hear about utility and all these things.
Yep.
So yeah, anyways, guys, if you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, join the superstar fam, and hit the bell notification button because you never know what we're going to hit you with. We got interviews with who knows who's going to come on next. I think we might have some heavy hitters very, very soon. So make sure you hit that bell button. Also, Superstar VIPs, thank you guys all so much for your support on this incredible journey with us. Get the star beside your name. Get potentially a star in the universe named after you. Get our buys and sells. Get advertisements. Get our spreadsheets. You can use the market cap analysis spreadsheets, the drop analysis spreadsheets, probability spreadsheet. Get the markets, the floor sweeping spreadsheets as the tools that we could provide to you. Yeah.
I got one more thing, guys. Yesterday we did the draw for the McFarlane whitelist spots. I've only got 1 response out of 5. So if I don't get you guys responding, I put a post in the community page. If I don't hear a response from you guys at the end of the week, we're going to roll it for the VIP. So if you want to be part of that rebound, I guess you could call it, you have to be in the VIP. But I'm still waiting on New Tactics, Kurt, Jerry Clough, and Adam Blank. You guys all won whitelist spots. So make sure that you guys go respond to that post on under Superstar Money YouTube. Then go to community and you'll see my post there.
Yeah. And again, guys, comment below. Let us know all your thoughts. Thank you again to all the Superstar VIPs and all the Superstars. We appreciate all your support. You're what keeps us going. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.